Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to our review of the Narwal Freo Z robot vacuum. The Freo Z is the new flagship from Narwal, and it has some game-changing innovations that led to it getting 2 major Vacuum Wars awards in late 2024 and rocketing to the top 5 on our best robot vacuum list as of this video's publication. We put it through a ton of tests over the past few weeks, and in this video, I'll go over the pros and cons. So links in the description, and let's get started. First, the basics. The Narwal Freo Z is a robot vacuum mop combo with a fully featured auto-empty station that washes and dries its mop pads. It comes in 2 different colors and is reasonably priced for a flagship robot vacuum of its quality. As far as hardware on the robot, it has a top-mounted LiDAR smart navigation system as well as front-mounted obstacle avoidance sensors. It has 2 side brushes and a single brush roller, which is tapered and unconnected at one end for better pet hair management. It also comes with a removable baseboard brush on the side, something that I haven't seen before, but is a wonderful idea. Starting off with the pros, the new auto empty station is very advanced. It's one of the areas that's a major upgrade from their previous version. The old version, the Narwal Freo X, was a great mopping station, but it didn't have a way to empty the robot's dustbin into a disposable bag, which was one of the reasons that prevented me from recommending it. But that's changed with the Freo Z, and it now empties the robot's dustbin into a 2.5-liter disposable bag, which Narwal says will last 120 days before needing to be changed. The new station also automatically washes the robot's mop pads, dries the mop pads, and refills the mop tanks with either water only or the water and proprietary Narwal detergent. It also has a rare water ionizing feature, which supposedly makes the water better for sanitizing. It's also a self-cleaning station, which reduces the amount of manual cleaning you will need to do, though it does have a removable tray for that purpose. Its actual mopping ability was another major pro. It uses 2 spinning mop pads, which are oddly shaped to reduce missed spots down the middle. The mop pads spin at 180 RPMs and have above average downward pressure at 1.2 kilograms or 2.6 pounds of force. All of that led to it being well above average with mopping ability. For example, in the dried stain mopping test, it was even better than electric mops like the Bissell Crosswave. It also has some useful mopping features, such as adjustable water levels and clean along floor direction, where you can set the direction that your floor panels lay in the app to prevent streaking. Its mop pads can automatically lift up 12 millimeters when it senses carpets, which allows the robot to vacuum and mop houses with a mixture of hard floors and carpets in the same run, making it much more efficient than robots that don't have that feature. One of the biggest pros with the Narwal Freo Z, though, is its new obstacle avoidance system, which is another area where Narwal made major improvements from their previous version. The new Freo Z uses a rare dual camera system with 2 advanced microchips. It's also light assisted for dark area cleaning. It has 120 objects pre-programmed for recognition, which is higher than average, and all of that resulted in the best obstacle avoidance score I've seen so far. Not quite perfect, but very close. It was overall very smart with general navigation and mapping as well. Its navigation efficiency was higher than average in our tests. It mapped our floor plan in just under 5 minutes, and it had a 41-minute vacuum and mop time, which is shorter than average, with excellent coverage. Its battery life was very good as well, although Narwal hasn't published an official battery life number that I've seen. Its battery efficiency in our tests, where we run it on various power settings on a fixed floor plan, was significantly higher than average. We calculated its square feet per charge at around 1,236, which is also above average. It has a fast charging feature as well, which is somewhat rare and usually only seen on higher-end robot vacuums. Another pro is that it was good where it really counts, which is with sweeping and vacuuming performance. One area where this really showed up was with our new pet features test. For example, it was above average with a 2.5-inch pet hair pickup test on carpet, and its uniquely designed main brush roll was good at resisting longer hair tangles as well. For example, I did not see any tangles with the 7-inch hair test, where the the average amount of tangled hair on that test is currently 41%. Its general sweeping ability on hard floors and carpets was great across the board. It was able to pick up all the types and sizes of debris we tested it with nearly perfectly. Its crevice pickup test was right about the average amount, and it had slightly above average suction power in our bench tests. Its app was a big pro. I think it is one of the better apps out there, and it's especially impressive considering that Narwal is a newer company, though its score on the app stores is lower than average, which is probably more reflective of older versions of the app. It has most of the features you would see on higher-end robot vacuum apps, such as multi-level maps, individual room settings, lots of scheduling variability, the ability to modify bin behaviors, virtual barriers, zone cleaning, 3D mapping. It even has some of the more advanced pet features like Pet Checkup, where it will go look for your pets without the vacuum on to make sure they're okay, as well as video calling. Moving on to the cons, where there wasn't all that much to report, but there were a few things. For example, the Narwal Freo Z scored significantly below average with our carpet deep clean test. This test measures how well a robot vacuum picks up deeply embedded debris like sand from medium pile carpets, and in this case, it only achieved 55%. However, I don't think this result is entirely reflective of its real-world performance. For some reason, Narwal robots in general have proven particularly challenging to test in our lab environment. They just don't seem to handle enclosed spaces well, often acting unpredictably during these kinds of tests. We ran this test multiple times, but the Freo Z never completed a normal consistent run, so it probably would do better than 55% in normal conditions. Another example of this was when we were testing its mopping ability, where we got extremely erratic behaviors that kept invalidating the mopping results, and the only way we could resolve it was by covering the obstacle avoidance cameras, because there was no way to turn off its obstacle avoidance in the app like we normally do with mopping. These kinds of things really frustrate people trying to review and test robot vacuums, but the average person probably would never notice it. Another thing was that it had below average airflow in our tests, but considering it had above average suction, it was sort of a draw. The main thing I would warn consumers about with the Narwal Freo Z, though, is not to do with its performance or abilities or features, but rather the fact that it is new. That being said, Narwal's online reviews are surprisingly good overall. And because customer experience is so important, we've started to take those online reviews into account when ranking products on the Vacuum Wars Top 20 Robot Vacuum list. This way, if something is wrong with a product and reviews tank, it starts to go lower in the rankings, and if people like it, it starts to go higher. So on paper and in practice, I was extremely impressed with the Narwal Freo Z. As I said, it won 2 major awards in 2024, Best Obstacle Avoidance and Best for Pets. It did great with the basics of sweeping hard floors and carpets and mopping ability. It has a ton of features, including some I've never seen before, and its price is competitive, making it an extremely solid choice. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching.